Hi everyone. Our today topic is the Indian farmers' movement. Recently, in the wee hours of the morning, Delhi police arrested Maninder Singh alias Moni, a 30-year-old Sikh AC mechanic. From PitamPura. You might wonder, why is the Indian government hunting mere AC mechanics now? Surely Mr. Modi could get an AC mechanic from any electronics market in New Delhi. But Moni Singh is special, because on Indian Republic Day he and hordes of fuming Sikhs scaled the Red Fort. They planted the Sikh Flag, Nishan Sahib, atop the fort and swung their swords in front of a charged mass of protesting farmers. At the surface level, the Sikh community is agitated because of three controversial farm laws passed by the Indian Parliament back in September 2020. These laws stripped Indian farmers of governmental protections like state procurement and price floors. For hard-pressed farmers, the government acted as a middleman and ensured a fair price for their produce. But these laws have cut the government out of the equation. Instead, mammoth investors like Ambani and Tata will now acquire produce directly. Farmers have a lurking suspicion that investors will buy away their lands and squeeze out their profits. Then again, why should Pakistan care? Certainly, we're knee-deep in our own problems. Someone might say, let them deal with their own demons. But Pakistan has been continuously linked to Sikh uprisings and must be cognizant of any repercussions, military or otherwise. Firstly, many in India contend that separatist Sikhs are in cahoots with Pakistan, endeavouring to break away and establishing their own homeland, Khalistan. Historically, it has caused the Indian state immense disquiet and massive losses to suppress. In 1984, under PM Indira Gandhi, the Khalistan movement gained serious traction under the command of its flag-bearer Jarnail Singh. It was only after the military-led Operation Blue Star, which ransacked the Golden Temple, that the movement dwindled. Mere months later, Indira was shot dead by two of her own Sikh bodyguards in retaliation. India relentlessly alleges that Pakistan was complicit in the uprising and provided the Sikhs with monetary and military aid. So when the farmers, predominantly Sikh, come raging at the doors of New Delhi, India points its finger at the most obvious culprit, Pakistan. Back in September of 2020, Kangana Ranaut, a veteran Bollywood actress, called protesting farmers terrorists who are causing a ruckus. The Indian Union Minister Rao Saheb Danver conveniently alleged the protests were being orchestrated by China and Pakistan. Some might say that Indian jingoism has morphed into delusion. The Pakistani Foreign Ministry spokesperson refuted this accusation by saying India finds it convenient to blame India's neighbours for all its internal failings. Cornered internationally, nudged towards the FATF blacklist and fragile both politically and economically, Pakistan cannot afford to be embroiled in Indian affairs. Secondly, farmers on our side of the border are also struggling, and the Indian experience tells them something. They too must rise up to challenge the state. In the last few months alone, Lahore has witnessed numerous farmer protests, and only horrendous measures have been able to curb them. In August of 2020, Prime Minister Imran Khan announced the Ravi Urban Development Project. However, to the farmers' dismay, there was little consideration for its repercussions. The government plans to buy land spanning 2,562 canals but isn't willing to offer fair compensation to the farmers. This has elicited immense disquiet by show of protests. Notably, in the start of March, furs were registered against 90 farmers who turned violent at a protest on Kala Katai Road. Similarly, in November 2020, the Pakistan Kisan Ittihad assembled at Tokani Azbeg, blocking traffic going in and out of Lahore. The farmers came to the negotiating table only after the police baton charged him and arrested dozens. Amidst the chaos, Ashfaq Langriel, a grower from Burrawala, died. The government places the onus on a heart condition, but the farmers are adamant it was due to police brutality. Thirdly, some see this as an economic opportunity in Pakistan. If the government in India can lavishly reward its corporate tycoons by backing out of produce procurement, then why can't Pakistan? Granted, Pakistan doesn't host as many MNCs and billionaires as India, but we do have our fair share of opportunists. And, if Mr. Modi doesn't succumb to the pressure, it might just set an example. And our private investors will also initiate lobbying for such laws. In conclusion, throughout subcontinental history, farmers have commanded significant clout, by virtue of their numbers, pervasiveness or economic role. If Pakistan wants to ensure long-term peace, then we would do well to avail this sliver of opportunity and allay farmer concerns. Contrasted with India's manhandling of farmers, it would be the responsible thing to do. Thanks.